Okay, yep. Right where I left off. Good, okay. There go another golden statue. Was that one talking? I like how everything just appeared right before me. Huh? This is great. A stone grate with holes in it. Perhaps there's another layer of the city under the forum? I really don't want to find out. I'm also very... Do you see this? I really feel like these statues are going to move one day. That's how I feel. Stop that. I feel bad for these people. They turned into like living statue artwork. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. I am never coming near these golden statues again. They are freaking me out. You must be that person that Lucretia is going to scratch her eyes out.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
What? Now I can talk to you. Hello.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
You could have gave her the Symphonium resin as the lady next door have asked of you. Oh, that's it. I need some Symphonium resin.
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
I take it that's the currency here. Your price gouge over life-saving medicine. What's wrong with you? Exactly.
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
There's no supply and demand of it. Seriously, Whisper? Do you hear that?
Hear what?
That whisper.
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
What happened to Navia?
She claimed the statue was whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this Silphium or not?
Not with that kind of price.
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
I doubt that's be optional. The golden law and all.
Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule, and we'd share the same fate as the last lot who lived here. Is that what you want?
Oh, yeah. There it go again. The whisper said taking a run. Oh my god. But the whisper also been guiding me and said I would try to guide you my best.
We agree on something. Now, do you want to make a purchase?
Not happening. I don't have that kind of money.
Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget? how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Well, let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
I really do feel like he didn't even choose the girl. He chose over his stupid cards. But you know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He may have actually chose the girl.
The girl? Weren't you listening? All my valuables or the girl? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the car, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
So you took her with you after all? I think I see where this is going.
Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Sound like you got what you deserve.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Ha, look like you're stuck here, so there's no point you price gouging.
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Really? I hadn't noticed. I'll play dumb.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out. Old Dacius has got your back though.
I highly doubt that.
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Had the magistrate ban weapons?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
I'm not getting you a bow.
No need to decide on anything yet. Just sleep on it, yeah? Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
Huh. Let's talk about something else. I actually want to come back to that.
Certainly.
So I'll do two things. So I guess...
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. Of course, I've scoured. Thank you, friend. You mean how did I end up here?
Oh, I pressed the wrong thing.
Suit yourself. Very well. Another time.
That's you talking? Stop. Oh! I gotta look through my recording. I thought I saw that statue move. It was! The head was moving! It was moving!
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary.
Ah.
Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
Have no idea. Well, I'll give you that. You never believe me if I told you.
And now you have me more intrigued than before. But since it appears you do not wish to share, I will wait until we are better friends. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
What's your story?
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
Why sell a tailor shop here? Well, actually, the more better question is how do you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
What? Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
So you flowed down the Tiber?
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Ah, the same way we fell through the trapdoor. So... Oh, jeez. Why set up a tailor shop here?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yes, more or less.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Fair enough.
Anything you like.
You're such a nice and chipper guy. Do you know a way out of here?
Shh! Not so loud! What are you playing at?
Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
No. What last attempt?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Well, it's not as if I'm going anywhere.
Aha, you are witty. I like that. Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse.
That seems the only way.
The shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Why hasn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Got it. Thanks. Yikes. So you really can't even try to escape out here, or that would consider breaking the law. But that can't be part of the golden rule, since literally that's not exactly a sin if you wanted to leave.
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades?
Heard
he was
him,
the first to learn
sort
this
of.
dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned
yeah.
her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The Golden Rule has merely brought it into focus.
Anything we can do about it?
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
Easier said than done.
Regrettably, I think you are correct, my friend. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know, I've seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
I don't think they agree to that. Who are you going to vote for?
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Domitius.
But of course,
Okay, we gotta go with the whole entire voting.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Seems like someone's trying to push them to vote for somebody else other than Cynthia's. Their whispers. Let's do it. I'm going to regret this. That's what I'm going to save, actually. I don't know why I really just not take it. Yeah. Take it.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Death arrives.
I'm legally run. Sorry. I hope he won't do something like that, but I did it anyway. And it's loading again. What the? It's all up to you. Looper.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm sorry, and we had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to the Cynthia so he can tell me about the Golden Rule.
Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No problem, I have to go.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
What is that? A zip line handlebar. A rudimentary wooden zip line handlebar.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
Ah!
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But
He's
don't
just a
worry, it's
friendly
completely
man.
safe. Probably.
Thanks, I'll be going now.
All right. See you around.
So it did loop us, as one can point out. How would I use this? Oh. Whoa. Did I hurt myself? No, I didn't. What? Don't steal anything. Don't hurt anyone. Don't. Whoever wrote this didn't get a chance to finish it evenly.
Don't you just love springtime?
I do. Is there any more graffiti writing? Yeah, I heard that voice and that just really scared the heck out of me. Thank you. There's one thing I did notice when we did run away and I heard that booming voice. I said, many still suffer with the sins of the one. I hope I'm saying exactly how I heard it. Is that the statue ended up having bows and arrows and was shooting us. I immediately took a run, but I knew it was going to happen. Well, not knew that was going to happen, but I knew something along the line was going to happen. These statues are literally talking to me. Shh, stop it. Stop looking. They were looking. I'm running.
How'd you do?
Okay. I'm getting a little bit not really used to it.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Culus cumulatus Decius won't give it to me.
He'd rather have you pay an arm and a leg for it, or 1,000 denarius in his figurement. I have the Symphony resin. Here, take a look.
What? Quick, give it here.
I said take a little.
Yulia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you. Hopefully, in a moment, she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
Well, I'm a time traveler. Here, that remind me from Rick and Morty Time War. Honestly, you wouldn't believe if I tell you Hershey got sick early and went to find medicine. Oh, we gone.
Look, if you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few moments. And
probably just
maybe
lying
she can
next
tell
time
us
around.
who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
Awesome. So we get to open new dialogue with her. What's your story?
I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
Ooh. How do you end up here?
My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
Seems like almost anyone that on the riverbank end up here, or through a trap door. No. That don't make sense. Seems like almost anyone, like we just end up on a riverbank, they end up on a riverbank, go to that temple, fall straight through the trap door, and end in the city for some odd reason.
It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
That's quite impossible with statue looking at you. They really are looking. Like, I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but they literally are looking at you. And that's freaky. Why are you working out of a shrine?
Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us arrived here. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense.
Tell me more about Nivea. See the one?
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician. But she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too. Until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem. A real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. I really shouldn't say. He wouldn't like it. And he's a little bit scary. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out. And you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace.
This will prioritize the quest, showing its objective markers only. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks, I suppose.
Reach Navia in the palace. I'm pretty sure you need something to reach her at. Or maybe you don't. I feel like you need stuff since that zip line happened. Do you know a way out of here? I'm gonna ask
I
you questions.
wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine. A city without sin might sound good on paper, but whoever dreamt it up didn't think it through. Maybe it was an attempt to create some kind of utopia. But snakes like Decius will always find loopholes to exploit. And what can we do about it?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. In some ways, we are worse off because we can't take the law into our own hands.
I keep hearing the statue is whispering. Is that normal?
Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her.
Navia.
But that was Nevia.
Navia,
And,
not.
she went a little mad.
Yeah. The lady definitely opens some more dialogue.
Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a
Oh,
midwife,
the
not
same
a
thing.
physician. But she was the closest until she suddenly lost all interest in us. This changes the
Okay.
last time. And then she shut herself in the... She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her. One of my patients,
La la la.
he's become so...
La,
I
la,
just
la,
know...
la, la. Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah, that
I
was the
suppose.
same thing. Can we talk about Lulia?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Do you think she was poisoned or was it self-inflicted?
Do you really want to know? I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it. Gladly.
Better talk to Lulia then about it.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
There go Lulia. And you.
Salve.
Oh, were you talking to me?
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose.
Well.
Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
No stuff. But can I ask you what happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
Are you worried about the golden rule?
The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I can't help you tell me what happened. I really don't want to push it, but we need info.
Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the world.
All right. I'd been here about a week when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend.
1,000.
I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Think you could be out of here before you?
I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was? Hemlock.
I know what hemlock is.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes, and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
That would have not broken the golden rule.
That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out.
That's
His
awful.
wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing. My hemlock.
Exactly. Oh, I know about some plants. That one do indeed poison if you eat it.
I just wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
She tried to commit suicide.
I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what will happen to you now?
When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
I'm sorry. Can I do anything to help? along as not help you commit suicide.
I doubt it. It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
You're not thinking of breaking it, are you?
No, of course not. I would never. But I can dream.
I have a bad idea. How much would it cost to buy your freedom?
A lot. But it doesn't matter. I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now. If so, I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him.
Aww.
I doubt you could make it up to the bluff in time. I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you. All right, but please don't take too long.
Thought we talked about her story.
You mean my life story? Oh, well, I grew up as part of a big family in Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for that kind of life. So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while, until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river, and then the next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here.
Everyone's story seemed to match the same. They all end on the riverbank, come to this village through a trap door, which I'm only assuming, and get stuck here, like our character is. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. But to be honest, sometimes I think dying in that fire might have been a blessing, given what's happened since.
I understand.
If that's your idea of a joke, it's not funny. Go away. I know what kind of person you are. Leave me alone.
Ooh, I got her mad. Dang it, I should have saved. Don't tell me I have to reload again just to get her to talk again. It seems like I have to do freak. Okay. So I'm going to have to reload. Do this again. Unless it, let's see. Actually, it did autosave, but I'm not sure how far it autosaved. Yeah, I'm going to have to be right back. Okay, I'll be right back.